I have let go of him completely. Lloyd! I'm on the phone! I'm on it too. Hi.
There you are.
How's it going?
Good. Okay.
Uh,
So thanks for doing this, by the way. Your movie was so great.
oh
Thanks for
man,
inviting us. That was amazing. So I have to
thank
ask
you.
you first, I know that you based this on an article. Oh, you're gone.
Sorry.
I know
Uh,
you based this on an article from the New Yorker, but when you read it, were you like, okay, I can do this, I can tap dance, I can do the whole thing? What was your like first thoughts?
What's funny, I'm on my way to see my mother right now, and she's the one that 15 years ago gave me the short story, The Performance, out of the New Yorker. She didn't talk about how heavy the piece is and how it illuminates in a story form how awful anti-Semitism or any type of hatred is. She just said there's a great role in there for you because she knows I'm very vain. So she played into my vanity.
I love that. But I mean, it is challenging physically as well. Were you like, did you think as soon as you saw that, did you think like, okay, I can do this? Are you like that? You can do anything? Like, okay, I'll take the
Um,
challenge.
you know, look, the reality is the role required that I be a professional tap dancer, and I wasn't. I was a drummer. I've been a drummer my whole life. But when an actor sees a role like this, an opportunity like this, all I thought about was I have to make this movie. And it took me 15 years to make it, and it's a miracle. And unfortunately, um, there's never been a more relevant time for this movie to come out. So maybe there is such a thing as divine timing. I don't know. But at the time, I just thought I'll do whatever it takes, and I started my tap lessons.
You kind of made it when you were a grown man. You were like 37 or something, right? When Entourage, the first season came out, right?
Yeah, I won the Fresh Face of the Year award at 40 years old. And when I won the award, I said, "There's nothing fresh about my face, but I love receiving this award."
That's amazing.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
So it's been 20 years now. When you look back at that time, does it make you nostalgic? What is it? What feelings are you getting when you look
Not
back at?
not I'm not nostalgic because I saw this great quote the other day about age. It's like you kind of, well, I don't even know that I can't. I'm going to butcher it terribly, but we kind of grow into who we were supposed to be. And that's the great thing about age. I just butchered it completely, and it doesn't even sound profound now. Um, but I'm just, we have this wisdom now as we've gotten older, um, and I'm so grateful for all of it, really. Um, so I'm not nostalgic. Here we are. I did Entourage, and I got to show people what I'm capable of doing, and even more so with this movie. Now people are like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! We didn't see this coming,"
No.
and they're like, I think people, when you're in their living rooms for a decade, like I did with Ari Gold, they, as my mother said, be careful, they're going to think you're Ari. And I thought that was the silliest thing. And now I get what she's talking about. And now with this film, people go, wait a minute, who is this guy? You
Mm.
disappeared into Harold May in the performance. And I said, no, I actually am Harold May. I reappeared. I didn't disappear. Like, they would always ask me, how much you like Ari? Because they really wanted to know, how much of an asshole are you really? And Harold May is who I am. I'm this artist, trying to get my work out there, and will do anything to get the work out. And so I identify with this guy so much. And I think that maybe that's why it's my best work. I don't know.
It really is. It's amazing. So you said that people thought that you were Ari Gold. Do they still think you were him? I mean, is that kind of a curse in your life a little bit?
I, I used to think it's a curse, and I used to get angry. And look, the reality is, if one does some work that's authentic and people get confused, that's a gift. And working is a gift, and I really am grateful for it. And I was lucky enough to not give up on the performance and stay with it for 15 years. Um, and here we are, and it's, I would love to be an example of never giving up. That would be, wow, would that be a gift?
Have you?
Because that's what I never did.
It's even harder to learn something when, don't you think, when you get a little older, that it's harder to learn new things?
Yeah, it is. But because I learned how to become a stand-up comic, and you have to be very childlike, people also want to know why I don't, they're like, why aren't you aging? And I think that I am. Some woman in a cafe said to me, "You got old," and I'm like, "Yeah, it happens. Thank you so much. That's adorable.
Oh
Thank
my
you."
God.
And I think maybe if I haven't if I don't look like I've aged too much, I think the key to staying young is being available to learning new things. And so I've been available to learning. You have to be childlike to learn new things. I've been childlike with stand up, and I've learned how to become a stand up, and I've learned how to become a tap dancer. And I think I might have picked the two hardest things to learn how to do. So that's, you got to stay young to be able to learn and grow. And so I'm just grateful for all of it.
But I mean, when doing stand up, that's like the scariest thing I can ever imagine doing. When you do stuff like that, you're in Hollywood, you have to kind of get used to rejection as well. Are you good at dealing with that? I mean, it probably got rejected so many times when you were trying to make this movie, right?
Yeah, I thought that I had cornered the market on rejection because as an actor, you get rejected all the time. You're auditioning, and that's really what it is with being an actor. How much punishment can you withstand? And if you can stay in it and be the last man standing, you'll work. But then you produce a movie like The Performance, and then you experience rejection on a whole other level. But here we are, and the reality is now people like you have seen the film, and now the word can get out like what this actually is, because you're going to come across a lot of gatekeepers, and they're going to say no. And if you just keep going, then I get to show it to people like you, and the word gets out, and they're going, "Hold on, what is this?" And then you get a shot.
And the thing you said about, and no one's expecting you in that movie. I was like, I remember when I saw the invitation, I was like, Jeremy Piven tap dancing. And it was like, what? I have to see this.
That's why people are coming. They're like, "There's no way."
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why no one gave me the money to make the film.
Yeah.
They were like, "Ari can't tap. Can we get a check? Let's get a check, please." And I'd be like, "Wait a minute, I can dance."
Did you continue tap dancing after you finished shooting? Have you kept up with it?
I mean, I keep my ankles loose in the way that I tap in every elevator that I'm in, and I got my tap shoes. But hopefully, this film will live on, and I'll be asked to tap. And I got my tap shoes ready. I kept everything from the film because it was so hard to let go of the film when you do the best work of your life in this, pivotal role and pivotal moment in my life where like we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this movie, and we need to talk about the fact that here we are 100 years later, and people are still hunting down Jews, and there's confusion, and it couldn't be more timely. And I just want to maybe inspire some uncomfortable conversations,
That's
you
great.
know, and that would be incredible.
Yeah, I think you have, and I think you will when more people see the film for sure. So, you were saying that you kept him with you. Do you always keep your characters with you? I mean, you played Ari Gold for so many years. Do you still have him as part of you, you think?
I have let go of him completely. Lloyd, I'm on the phone. I'm on a Zoom.
Oh gosh. So, so I feel like you are like the
Sorry. I
you,
had to.
but I feel like you
I'm
are like
laughing over you are. So I didn't mean to blow your eardrums out. You know?
you are like the master of ranting, I think. And I
Yeah.
saw an interview with you on some podcast where you talked about how, everything was word for word. And
Yeah.
that's so impressive. So I was wondering, do you have like a method that you use specifically to remember things that are,
Yeah, I do. It's called Joyce Piven. I am literally 4 blocks from her house. I was pulling up to her house, and then I realized, oh my God, I have to do a Zoom with you. So you're keeping me from my mother. No guilt. No. By the way, I'm Jewish, so I mastered the art of making you feel guilty. Um, Joyce Piven is my secret weapon. I give her the script and we run lines. I joke on stage that I do lines with her. Sorry, I run lines. Run lines with Joyce Piven. Don't do lines with your mom. Run lines. Um, and she would, it's just basically like a play. You just do it over and over. And you just drill it until you can be totally present and in the scene and rattle off a 4-page monologue. And by the way, I'm not doing anything special. There's nothing special about what I do. Nothing. That's what actors do. You run your lines until you own them, and then you're present in the scene and you let it go. So I'm not telling you anything different. It would be like me being an athlete saying, I know my plays. I ran a route. He hit me with the ball. I scored. That's it.
Well, it's the way you do it, though. It's very believable, and that's why you're a good actor. And that's why I think most people can't do that. So, but you had to yell a lot at your mom then.
I yelled at my mom. I've yelled at my mom. Everything I've said is Ari Gold is said in my mom's face, and my mom just literally stays in it. And I've unpacked this on stage. I can't do it for you right now, but my character is incredibly vulgar, and the things that he said were shocking. And I would say it to my mom, and she wouldn't blink because she knows this is a fictional character, and she's not offended. Her son isn't telling her these horrible things. Her son is playing a character. It would be the same as if she was running lines where I was playing Richard III and I'm playing a tyrant. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. So she never, I have no problem saying anything to her face, in character.
So, do you feel like doing those kind of parts is therapeutic for you? Because you get a lot of like, you must get out some anger and frustration, or do you, I mean, you put emotions in there, right? So,
Yeah, I mean, listen, to be honest with you, it is cathartic. It's cathartic to scream and break computers and all that stuff. I think that they should literally have it. I could run like some therapy sessions where people come in and they yell at their boss and I'm their boss and they get to break computers. It'd be amazing.
they
But
have that here in LA. It's called the rec
oh,
rooms.
they do?
Yeah, where you can come
Oh,
and wreck
really?
things. Yes.
I love it. But ultimately, I can tell you that if you do it for 12 or 14 hours a day on command, it is exhausting. And like I remember one day trying to take a run after I was done filming, and my hands got numb, and I kind of just veered off course and just couldn't run. And I think your body, it does take its toll because I don't know how to take a dive. I don't know how to phone it in, not for a moment, not for a take, nothing. And so I go for it. And so my body was, I think, exhausted.
So, when you were finished with that role, how was that kind of like? I mean, it was such a big part of your life, and then say goodbye to something like that must be kind of sad in a way. Or how did you feel about that?
Well, listen, 8 seasons in a movie, how lucky were we? Some people don't even get to do a pilot. So we were incredibly lucky. Um, and people miss it, man. I'm on the road doing stand up, and there's a whole new crop of kids, these guys in their late teens and early 20s that binge watch it during the pandemic. And so what HBO doesn't realize is that our audience has grown. So it's kind of, I'm very lucky.
But I don't think that show would be possible to make in today's culture. Do you think that, I mean, the way
Well,
things
not only could it be made, but you could make it for the culture. Um, and also people want to laugh more than ever. You know, the edgiest things on TV are the most watched things.
Mm.
So you could make it, it could be incredibly successful, or one could operate out of fear and go, I don't want to offend anyone. But, you know, I think the roast of Tom Brady offended a lot of people, and it's the number one most watched piece of content on Netflix. So it just depends on if you want to, you know, be successful or not.
That was a great roast, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think Ari Gold would be very, very busy during these times.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, you know, there's so many different ways. Lloyd could be his politically correct consultant, you know, and he could help navigate him through pronouns, and it would be hysterical. It would,
I want to watch that show. Can you please make
I
that?
mean, ooh, yeah.
Would you go back if the opportunity was there? Would you go
Oh,
back to this
I
one?
think it would be hysterical to watch Ari try to navigate this culture. It'd be amazing.
Yeah, me too. All right, is our time up? I'm not going to keep you longer for my mom. Thank you so much. This was really great. And
Thank you so much. Thank you for your support and for showing up. It means a lot.
thank you. I love that you're in your car. It makes it more interesting.